Hello, welcome to my channel, A Piece of Gaia. My name is Lindsay, and today we are going to do a reading on what is meant to find you 14 days before it happens. So what is the energy right before it happens? What do you need to hear? Okay, so we have 3 different readings here, and I will see you in your selected reading. Hello to those of you who chose reading number 1 with this crystal here. It's agate. Okay. So what are you meant to hear 14 days, 2 weeks before it happens? Okay, so you chose the letters D, P, Z, and N. And with this card, Gaia, number 28, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Very nice. All right. So this is going to be your activation 2 weeks before it happens, and I feel that you're deeply connected. You're feeling very connected. You're feeling like there's lots of possibilities, and that you're going to be entering into this energy. And your next card out here is change. So there's going to be some changes in the next 2 weeks here. With number 12, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Yes. So I'm hearing be prepared. Be prepared for some changes. Okay. I'm also hearing get ready or be ready so you don't have to get ready. All right, your next cards out are going to represent some of the energies that might be involved with the representation of dinosaurs. Okay, these are going to represent kind of like the things of the past that we are kind of letting go of, and we're moving into this next 2 weeks with a different energy. So we have Tyrannosaurus Rex, Ceratosaurus, and Spinosaurus. So looks like, these are all carnivores. These are the sizes of them. The comparison. Obviously this one's the biggest one. So maybe toward the beginning of this 2 weeks is going to be the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome, and then it will ease up a little bit toward the end of these 2 weeks as this change starts to become more evident and more clear, and you can remind yourself here. It says reminds us we are infinitely connected. So if you can continue to remind yourself that through these changes you are infinitely connected to source energy, it will make this transition a little bit easier. All right. So your next cards out are going to be your light and shadow here. So the light is going to be number 37, Candy Cane Angel. It's time for a treat. Okay, so treating yourself. I can see maybe even taking yourself out, doing something nice for yourself. Number 26, the 3 Fates. What comes around? Okay, so I'm hearing at the end of that, what comes around goes around. So I also feel that being in a state of realizing your own karma and not doing anything or creating any more disruption that you're already facing, some of these issues along the week. So I feel like in order to really stretch out this energy that is going to be changing, treating yourself, and then also acting in a manner which you're smoothly working through your karma and not creating any more cause and effect. Now let's go ahead and get you some tarot. The message for the next 2 weeks before this change happens for group 1, those who selected group 1. All right, the Sage, the Tower, the Sun. Okay. So overall, this is going to be a very positive change. I see you are definitely protected in this energy of this positivity, but like I said, that it might be a little disruptive in the beginning so that we can just kind of flow with the changes that are happening, and that there might be something unexpected that you may have not anticipated that might come about. So I don't want to scare you in this. Obviously, this is a learning lesson. This is saying, and you will be very wise at the end of this. You will be, I'm also hearing, maybe saving some time to put aside so that you have at least some time to be able to process things and sit down and focus on the things that you would like to do moving forward. All right, and then your next cards out is going to be number 4 with the turkey tail block, number 20 with the scarlet elf cup healing, and number 5 with lion's mane calm. So going back to that original message, maybe there is a little bit of blockage in the beginning of the week, but this is creating healing and more wisdom in your life, and it's going to create a very positive sense of opening up that energy. I'm feeling there's some energy within your root chakra that you may be dealing with, your connection to this earth energy, and there's something from your past that maybe we're reprogramming. In the next 2 weeks is an opportunity to really see things as reprogramming your energy so that you can move into a state of calm in this change. And like I said here, I want to emphasize that you are protected within these changes, and things are going to be very positive for you in the next 2 weeks. All right, your next card out is single-mindedness. Choose your own path and what is best suited for you. And then we have breakthrough to new decisions, number 25. The new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. And then this one, number 39, back on task. Be sure you are using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you are working on. All could use some fine-tuning. So maybe there is a little bit of tweaks that need to be done with something that you are engaged in, and it's asking you to have a lot of focus on this and to get balanced with the number 14 here. We have 14 days until this is about to happen. So I feel like that focus that you're going to have is going to really show you a lot of wisdom. I see that with the eye too, a lot of focusing in on what you desire, what is best suited for you, and not really letting outside opinions pollute your energy too much, because you're breaking through here to new dimensions. I feel like also maybe you are doing some meditation shifts within this next 2 weeks, or entering into some type of portal energy. Depending on when you're watching this, maybe you're dealing with a double digit of the month, like 4-4 or 5-5, and that time could be very potent for you. Also, I see you maybe even working with a full or a new moon in the next 2 weeks that will help you process what you would like to manifest in this next change, in this upcoming energy. And this back on task is also showing me that maybe your routine is going to become more solid. It's going to have a lot of optimism involved in it. There's going to be a routine that kind of just paces you just take one step at a time in this process. And doing it with a calm energy. You know, if you feel like your energy is erratic, take a moment to calm down and do something about, you know, just treating yourself, like it says, really getting into that positive energy. Maybe even I see you opening up a book and taking some time to read. It's beautiful. Yeah. All right. Let's get a few more messages. I want to know more about this change. Can we know more about this change in the next 14 days, please? Okay, we have 8 of Swords. And we have the Hermit reversed. All right, and then we have the Spirit of Swords. And the 5 of Cups reversed. So this is going to be the King. So what I'm seeing already with this major arcana coming forward reversed is that you are going to be getting out of your shell. You are going to be exploring. You are going to be cooped up in the house in the next 2 weeks. You're going to be getting out. And that is maybe the major change that is involved. And also I feel the next 2 weeks, you're definitely able to be in a state of mind of knowing that you're aware that you've had some losses and had some grief in the past, the things that you'd had to let go of, but you know that it's serving your highest good, and you're opening up that heart and being able to speak more on this instead of keeping it all in and all to yourself. And in the King of Swords here, I feel you're going to be getting your mind right. With that Sage card that we had, you're going to be gaining a lot of wisdom and educating yourself in some way. I also feel with this card, I did some recent meditation on this, and I do feel this infinite energy with this card, how just the 8s themselves, how they represent the infinity symbol. I'm feeling like you're going to be understanding the balance of this and how we can't always be in a perpetual state of happiness, but we can be able to manifest the energy of understanding the flow and then getting back into what we need to do in order to bring in that fulfillment that we would like to see in our lives. And you're getting out of this cage. There's some kind of metaphorical cage or energy that you have built for yourself. And also my meditation guided me in this energy to talk about when this card comes up next, I will speak on this. So there is this metaphorical cage that we create for ourselves because that's the nature of being in our physical form. Your first cage is your body, okay? So you can't really choose your body, but you can choose how to treat your body. You can prevent things happening to your body. You can exercise, you can eat right, you can do things that get your mind centered by focusing inward on yourself and doing the things that are necessary to get that body in the right state. And then your mind will follow. Your mind wants to go all kinds of places because it wants to determine what is going to happen, the worry that is, what happens when you come out of this cage? What happens when you come out of the energy that you're in? Why is change scary to you? Those kinds of things. So I feel like you're understanding that, we have our body and then we also have the earth that we're bound to. There's that cage energy. So I'm also seeing the movie Harold and Maude, if you're familiar with that old movie. She says in this one part, how the world dearly loves its cage. And what I get from that also is that we're always really trying to find a place to put ourselves, whether it is a physical, actual place like our home, or it's our, we're caging ourselves in the thoughts of comparison by being in the body that we're being in, but then seeing that maybe the grass is greener on the other side. So in this next change, I feel that you are going to be understanding that your body is a blessing to you, and that you're not going to compare yourself to other people. That is a deep change that you're undergoing. And the King of Swords is showing me that your mind is such a powerful tool. It's such a powerful tool, and it can be used to find new ways to be able to live a balanced, healthy life. And you're also leveling up. There is some leveling up to your life. I also see a person that you're going to be engaging with, a very intellectual person, and this person might spark an interest or get you out of this cage. There might be something that this person says to you, and that's going to awaken something in you and really let you face some of the things that you've been not willing to face in your life emotionally. Because when we can deal with our emotions, we can also know that those emotions will always be changing. We can never just feel one way perpetually. There'll always be change within those emotions. So in the next 2 weeks, you might be dealing with a little bit of the energy of feeling and realizing, okay, a realization of where you've put yourself. And then once you realize, that's the first step, because the ultimate goal really isn't complete and fulfillment. You can't fill that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But what you can do is you can accept that change is inevitable and the flow of energy is inevitable. And that will be an easier way to deal with your life and deal with these changes coming up. All right. So I'm going to get you some doors here. You can pick one of the doors, or you can choose to walk through all 3. All right, so the first one is this one here. The second one is this one here. The third one, this one here. All right, walking through this first open doorway with the statue of the Buddha. Offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows share more than expected and see love come around. Pass this card on. So in that, I see that there is, abundance that lies ahead. And when you're opening that heart, I felt like with this card, you're really opening that heart, and maybe being able, with the blue coloring, you're able to speak on some of the things that were difficult to talk about before. And that is bringing in a whole world of, you're expanding your horizons here. And the next door here is destiny. One door closes, another opens for you. Let the plans of destiny unravel true. Pass this card on. So maybe you are definitely closing that chapter. I feel this red color coming through again with the energy of the root chakra and connection to your Mother Earth here that you live on. And, maybe even going outside and putting your bare feet on her grasses, on her leaves, somewhere, depending on where you live in the world. If it is springtime for you, maybe it is time to get outside and be a part of nature. And then she will help you close this door. Even ask her, feel her vibrations, feel her love radiating through your body, and the changes that you want to make, and reprogram yourself to get to this new change. This will happen so much easier when you connect with Mother Gaia. And then this door here, three-eyed raven. As sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven caws out the news. Prepare for the unexpected. Okay, we did get that Tower card, so I'm feeling like that Tower card is inevitably leading to positive things. We got the Sun card as well, and positive, I feel also within your health. There is an upswing in your health, and things are going to turn around for you. What you thought was a mountain that you couldn't climb, or a height that you couldn't reach, you will soon be able to reach that. And if you see any ravens and they, call out to you, that might be a sign within that moment. What were you thinking? How was your energy in that moment? And focus on that and take that in as a type of a message and a blessing. Okay. And then your last messages here are going to be these affirmations. Let's do a positive affirmation here. Okay. I have respect for my body and my emotions. I make choices that honor me. Isn't that perfect? I see that, maybe we are also, getting rid of some of these things in our life that are a little bit toxic to us. And it says, I make healthy choices. All right. So if you go out to eat, treating yourself, we think sometimes that a cake is a good treat, but really what a good treat is for ourselves is something that's healthy. I know that sounds annoying to hear that, but it is very true. And if you can get in that energy of really respecting that vessel that you hold, it is your first cage. And you're going to put yourself in a different kind of cage if we do toxic behavior. We need to appreciate and love our body just the way it is. You are perfect just the way you are. All right, and then this one, my opinion of myself is the only one that counts. I love and respect myself no matter what they say. I surpass other people's opinions of me. Yeah, so if you've had any, opinions, I feel like that root chakra, it could contain a lot of information of comparison and hurt from the past. And we need to crack that open that up, be able to either speak on that or feel that as, there is change that's coming in for you in these next 2 weeks. You're going to be able to walk with a little bit more of your head held high. You're going to have that a little bit more confidence. And this one, I affirm love, respect, and harmony with every member of my household. My circumstances at home improve every day. All right. And the first home, like I said, that's your body. So respecting your body and giving yourself that boundary as you're loving yourself, you're giving that energy out to everyone that's involved. So, if you have any trouble with anyone in your home, if you have negative stuff that's happening, reaffirming that positive things are happening, even if they're not, like just acting as if, even journaling this, writing this down, and doing affirmations for yourself that say, things are going to work out. I always have good people around me, even these that we've heard so far. And the energy will pick up and start to change. Believe me, I am living proof of that. So, yeah, that is your message. And thank you so much for joining me today. That's all I have for you. And if you want to come see me again, I do this every Tuesday. I upload at 6 p.m. Central Time. All right, bye-bye. Hello to those of you who chose group 2 with R, B, V, and Y, and the card Belief and this blue crystal. This is your reading. So we're looking at what you are about to hear, what you need to hear before the next 2 weeks, before this event or this thing happens in your life, okay? So right now, this card says belief. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So I feel like your spirituality is going to be getting a lot stronger in the next 2 weeks. And that self-worth, there's this new wave of energy that I feel in the air and just in general within people was we've got all the tools that we need. There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of misinformation, but there's a lot of good information too. So it's not very hard these days to find help to motivate yourself, to make your life better, to make yourself better, to feel more confident. I mean, we're in a wave of, even more than ever, people are talking about love yourself, in the way that you want to be loved. So I'm seeing that your self-worth is definitely rising, and no matter what you've come from, you are believing in this energy and having this for yourself. All right, and your next card of activation in the next 2 weeks is Delight, number 19. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. Oh, that's very nice. So yes, there's some happy energy coming in. I feel like you're going to be very, very proud of yourself, of the things that you have been able to manifest and be able to cultivate within your life, just with your own talents, your own source of energy, and that source being connected to the original source. So you have a lot of spiritual belief in that. Good connections around you too as well, I feel. And these next 3 cards are kind of symbolize the energy throughout the week of how it might go for you. So we got this one, Diplodocus. Okay, so this one is an herbivore, okay? And this one, look at the size of them as well. So I feel throughout the week, there is going to be a big energy in the beginning of the week, and then it kind of tapers out. You know, it gets a little smaller and then it rises up just a little bit. But in this, I feel all of these are plant eaters, okay? They are all vegetarians or vegans, I guess you could say. So I'm feeling like there is a sensitive, calm energy with this one. They have a very calm energy. They're not too crazy. I mean, the only time they really act up is during mating season or during defense of just their young, or you know, trying to defend their own self or their territory. But there's a very calm, big calming energy that kind of starts out these 2 weeks, and then it kind of just, it gets to the point where there's a little bit of defensive energy within you, but it's not that big. It's just like this, it's a way to preserve your energy, I feel, because you're wanting to stay in a state of this delight energy, because there's something good that's happening, I feel, especially within you. You've really cultivated this real deep sense of worth within yourself and a connection to yourself. And that's going to really help these 2 weeks go by pretty smoothly up until whatever it is that you are preparing for or that is happening. I feel like it's more that you are possibly preparing for something in this group. Okay. Your next cards out are going to be these ocean creatures here. We have number 29 with the swordfish, explore yourself, or the sailfish. I think it's a swordfish. Tune into your personal power. You are more than able to handle the situation facing you. Allow yourself to be the strong, beautiful person you are capable of being. Yes. I also feel with that sword energy, you're cutting out some things that just aren't really suiting you. You're like, nope, I'm good with that. And then we have number 13, gliding through currents. With a different approach, you will glide through a situation with grace and ease, going inward and bringing your understanding, perspective, or behavior into flow will help your dreams take flight. So see, I do feel like this is maybe a dream of yours, a planned event, something that you have been working towards, and you're wanting to take this on very smoothly. And I also have something within the next 2 weeks that I'm doing, and my kind of mode on that is, if anytime I feel frustrated or defensive about it, I'm going to take a break. And I just want every day to just kind of slowly approach this goal that I have. So I feel like you're in that kind of same mode. And like I said, with your dinosaur cards, there is this energy of you planning through, but having a calm energy about it and just feeling pretty good. Like there's not, like group 1 had a lot all carnivores. And so I felt like there was some more challenging energy, and I feel like you guys is having a little smoother time. I'm definitely ending up with a positive result here. Actually, you got 3 of these. So here's the other one. Number 43 with the, I think this is called a triggerfish. Yeah, this is a clown triggerfish. very colorful, beautiful fish. So 43, setting up parameters. Assess your relationships and determine how they are aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. Yeah, and I think since you're going so much within and you're honoring yourself so much, you're definitely going to be assessing the new boundaries that you would like to set with people that are in your life. You know, sometimes when we reevaluate and we go within and we find this new energy within ourselves and we have more value for ourselves, we then have to look at everyone else and go, are they aligned with this new process? And you might be having to make some changes. Okay. Yeah, and you're going to glide through this effortlessly. I just feel like this current is taking you. You are going with the flow. And your next cards out are going to be light and shadow. So your light is going to come through as 41, the Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. Yes. So yeah, you're really focusing in on yourself. I see that 1 to the 11 is this gateway that you're walking through, and you're the only one that can fit in this gateway, or this portal energy that you are being, put through. And this activation of believing in yourself and believing in the delight and the happiness and the positive that you can offer yourself, and therefore everyone around you, right? So that's really nice. And number 28 is going to be your shadow, death and the maiden, invasion, boundaries violated, and dominance. So maybe that is just a little bit of the energy that you are facing, and there's a transformation within this. I feel these boundaries that you're going to be creating, they might feel a little sketchy in the beginning, just like we don't know all of the processes of transformation and death. We don't really know, we just have to believe, we just have to have the energy that everything is going to be okay through this process. And also facing your own mortality, the idea that that is a sure bet that one day you will not be here anymore, but you will come back in another form. At least that's my own belief, and I believe energy can never die. So I feel like you getting in this mode of really honoring yourself, honoring all the processes, and knowing that it's not like this thing where you're just here and gone, but you're creating a residual energy that is going to last for quite a while. All right, let's go ahead and get you some tarot cards. Can you please have some more messages on those who selected group 2 for the next 2 weeks, 14 days of their energy moving forward? What do they need to know before this happens? Okay, we have 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and the Heart of Pentacles. Okay, well, definitely moving into some calmer waters here. That's beautiful. And that the turtle, the sea turtle here, again, with the rainbow on it, the worst has happened. The worst has already come, and you are moving into calmer waters. And I feel there is something to gain from this coming through, and also moving through those currents. The turtle likes to take those currents and flow very easily, so that it can get to its destination. And I feel there is maybe some collaboration that you are looking forward to in the next 2 weeks. This collaborative effort is going to help excel maybe your career, your finances, and just a general sense of being appreciated for actually being someone that's really good at the craft that you're putting forward. And you're making progress. There's a lot of progress that's happening. And then we have the Heart of Pentacles here. And the heart is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. So I see you really nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself. I also feel just so much abundance with this effort that you're having in this collaboration. Maybe you have put forth quite an effort to move forward into a really nice, peaceful energy that creates a lot of happiness for you. And other people are noticing this. And with that, exposure that you're having, I feel that it is going to be leveling you up in this way and creating that beautiful queen, being the queen that you are, regardless of your gender. I feel this just so much love and appreciation for nature and the things around you as well, really honoring your physical vessel too. Maybe even doing some things that involve your personal growth by, engaging in type of activities that move your physical body, or going to the salon, or shopping for a big ticket item that is really going to create some more luxury in your life. I feel there is maybe creating a more aesthetics in your environment to really draw in that peaceful, happy energy that you're bringing in. So that's beautiful. So your next card out are going to be these mushrooms. You have the number 2 with chaga, defense and balance. And then you have the indigo milk cap, number 33, with true colors. And number 11, king oyster with substance. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there is definitely something tangible that is coming into your life, and finding your true colors. I see this with this rainbow. I feel like you have such a broad spectrum of energy, and it's just such a beautiful thing, and you're really believing in yourself. I also feel like the pace that you're taking in these next 2 weeks, by believing in yourself, it's really easy to believe in ourselves when we commit to something and then we follow through with that. And then once you can do that over and over again and make your small goals for yourself, and then they can surmount to bigger goals. But once you achieve, one of those goals, then you can have the energy of trust. Then when you can trust yourself, you can really see what you're capable of. And I see you being capable of just beautiful things. And this is going to create so much balance within your life. I also feel, we kind of talked about invasion and boundaries being violated. I see this as like kind of a barnacle. Like maybe there's someone within your life that you need to be firm with. You need to tell them, this is the end of this behavior. I won't tolerate this anymore. Doing it in a very loving but assertive way, and then you are going to be able to obtain this, I see 1111 here. Yeah, there's something about a partnership of some type that is, we're seeing a mirroring effect. An energy that you may want to get rid of within yourself is apparent in this person, and maybe it is coming out of them because it's coming out to be released, okay? And dealing with it in a way that is going to be a very balanced way, and not really being super defensive, but being a little bit on the defense, because the defense is going to be you creating that boundary of loving yourself and respecting yourself. So nice. So let's get some more tarot for you. What are the other messages they need to know during this 2 weeks before this happens? Okay. Out. Okay, we have the Fool card reversed. We have the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. All right, and these 2 cards did come out for group 1 as well, so we'll touch on that a little bit. So if maybe you also watched group 1, but I will just touch on it a little bit if you would want to go back to that group and hear any messages that brought forth there. But what I'm seeing, I had a lot of meditation on this card recently, and just the number 8 in general, and how it is this infinity. We're always going to come back to these feelings because there is this energy of being caged, okay? Always. Our first cage is our physical body, and depending on how we treat that body, that's how our mind is going to then be affected by maybe feeling trapped or isolated or confused about where we're going to go next. And I see you getting right with this. In the next 2 weeks, you are going to be nurturing yourself and getting right with this, okay? The changes that are coming in, what you need to hear right now is that it's okay to open your heart and let go and speak your mind on the things that have been bothering you, about the things you have to let go of. It's okay to use that voice that speaks from the heart about the things that you're willing to let go of, you're willing to release and no longer deal with anymore. And the Fool in reverse is that this new beginning is always occurring. I feel like it's just always there, ready for you. It's not like this next 2 weeks is going to be something that is just here and gone. This is a perpetual energy that you're going to be able to have in your life, that this realization that taking care of yourself and honoring yourself with those boundaries by way of doing the action that is necessary to get that love to yourself and believing in yourself. Our self-belief is so strong that if we are the first ones to believe in ourselves, everyone will follow suit. Okay, so that collaboration coming through. That's just beautiful. So let's get you some doorways here to walk through. We'll pick 3 doorways, and you can choose to walk through one or all 3. All right, the first one is this one here. This is number 2 door and number 3 door. I think that's, yeah. All right, let's walk through this one. Palmistry, fortune and tarot, collective destiny. The palm lines from birth tell your sacred palmistry. Listen to the notes of intuition. Yes, I also feel that with the Fool card up in reversed, there is this intuitive energy that you're bringing forth that you almost kind of know what is going to happen, but it might be a little bit of a surprise, but there is a little bit of you knowing. You might even be planning for this. And then this open doorway into this beautiful outdoor landscape. We have 3 of Cups, a toast to friendship. In the afternoon sun, 3 of Cups. In happiness, 3 cheers are done. Celebration is near. And we did have that 3 of Pentacles as well. So I feel like your collaborative efforts are definitely shining through here, and that happiness coming through. Like I said, this is, happiness is infectious. When you're very happy and you laugh, it can spread. It can really invite in others that are in that same vibration. So I feel you celebrating this victory or whatever it is, this, toasting to something wonderful that's coming your way. And then this card here, the Odyssey, take in the beauty of country lands and botany. Explore the wonder like a gypsy traveler's odyssey. So maybe the actual, you're actually moving, physically going into the energy of something. You might be, it might turn out as like at first it is a thought, it is an energy that you move into, and then you decide to explore something. And that there's some victory in that. I feel like there's also some you're destined to do this. You're destined to follow suit with this energy. There's something kind of unfolding that I feel like is a long time coming, especially with that Queen of Pentacles. She takes her time to cultivate the life she is, but she doesn't stop. She keeps going, and she keeps nurturing the things around her. She doesn't let things become she doesn't become a slave to the possessions that she has, but she lets them work for her and in service of her. And I feel that with this connection to the Pentacles over here, it's working for you in a way that is drawing in so much attention for yourself that you're really going to start to get noticed for the things that you're doing, and that is beautiful. So let's go ahead and get you some lasting affirmations here. Okay. I deserve all the good in my life, and my family members completely support me. Yes. My family totally supports me in fulfilling my dreams. And even if they don't, okay? Even if there's people around you that don't, telling yourself this is going to get you in the energy, you know, acting as if. Sometimes we can be grateful for things, and the things that we have a hard time being grateful for, just acting as if they're already there really has this message that it sends to the universe that changes things around for us. I do feel like there's also, you know, with this card, we had spoke about, you know, the boundaries and stuff like that. I feel like there's just a change to that. Like someone is going to be honoring the steps that you're making because you really have this belief in yourself, and that's going to be very contagious. And we have, I conduct myself honorably at all times. I tell the truth, treat people with kindness and respect, the same behavior from others, and expect the same behavior from others. Yes. So you treating yourself, you know, with your truth that you believe for yourself and expecting that from others, you know. But I feel like not just expecting, you're not really in this feeling of expecting things from others. You're just living in the energy of feeling that positivity for yourself, and things will start to change and transform for you if they are the opposite of that. I feel safe and comforted in my room. I treat my room with respect and love. My room is my sacred haven. Yes. So maybe you are, you know, you like music or something too. I see this person with the guitar. Might be, maybe you like to play music or just listen to music, but I see that there is a sacred space. I also feel that that sacred space is within you as well. So creating that energy within you, and that just resounds out into the world. So beautiful. Well, that is all that I have for you today. I wish you so much luck, and I send you lots of love in these next 2 weeks. And may you achieve all that you can and get that collaboration that you truly deserve. Okay? I do this every Tuesday. I upload at 6 p.m. Central Time if you'd like to see me again. Okay? Bye-bye. Hello to those of you who chose this beautiful card here and this little pink crystal with J, K, L, and O. This is going to be your reading. So we are looking at the next 2 weeks before. So what are the messages that you need to hear before whatever happens in 2 weeks' time? Okay. All right, so the authority card says, number 10 says, the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So I see you becoming somewhat of an authority figure yourself, or just having the say in what happens within your life. And doing this in a way that is very loving and with a real base to work off of. You know, maybe you are an authority of something. Maybe you have a lot of knowledge in some category. That's very nice. You're going to be using that to the best of your ability here. So your next activation card here is discernment, number 20. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So that goes very well with that one. So I feel like that's like the next level, you know, having this at the same time, having the discernment to make the right decisions, make the right choices in the world. What kind of people are you going to surround yourself with? Doing that from a place of, you know, detachment, it says, yet compassion. So detachment as in you're not really clinging on to anybody else's energy. You are going by what you know is true. That's beautiful. So these cards are going to represent, these dinosaurs are going to represent the energy throughout the week and how it kind of flows for you. So, or throughout the 2 weeks. So we have this one here. This one eats squid and mollusks. So I like to look at the size of the dinosaurs to see the perspective here. So Archeolon is pretty big. So there might be, you know, a large energy, but I feel a flowing energy. This is a water creature, so I feel like there is going to be some type of flow that you're going to get into in the beginning of these 2 weeks. And then there might pick up, something might pick up, but this is a vegetarian animal, so you know, it has like a defense energy, but really it's a very calm and peaceful dinosaur. And these are also things of the past too that may be kind of just resurfacing a little bit. And this one is a carnivore, and it's actually pretty small. I mean, it's like a size of a medium dog. So I see that there might be something of maybe a little bit of feistiness that we have in our energy toward the end of these 2 weeks, but it's not so big that it's unsurmountable. I feel like it is definitely something that you can deal with. You have an authority on some of the things. You have a lot of knowledge in your skill set, so you're going to be able to accomplish whatever you set forward. And there is definitely, not everything is meant for you. What is designed for your frequency, you're going to be able to pick this up, so you'll be able to make those discernments. Okay. And then we have these ocean creatures here. So we have number 38, the lobster, shedding the old. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see these new prospects. Then we have the sea turtle, so another sea turtle, but one that's alive today. So we have adrift in shallow water. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. And then this one here with one of these sharks. Persistent drive. See what you desire and move towards that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. Yes. So what you're needing to hear also in these next 2 weeks is just keep going, just keep drifting along, keep flowing with the energy. You are shedding something of an old way of thinking. Maybe you aren't an authority, maybe you don't see yourself in this power position, but I feel like that is maybe the energy you are shifting and moving into. And you know, also just having faith in yourself, I'm seeing here with this. And then once you get going, like this turtle, it takes currents and gets going pretty quickly to get to its destination. And this guy too, he crawls along the bottom of the ocean floor, but sometimes to get out of sticky situations, he just shoots and goes really fast. Yeah, this tail, it just propels him through the water very quickly. So I feel like with the shark as well, you just keep swimming, keep going, keep moving, keep that body oxygenated. I also see you maybe doing some exercises, maybe going on some walks, you know, keep that mind going. So we keep that body going, we get that mind going. So your next cards out are going to be your light and shadow. So light, shadow. So your light here is number 39 with the clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Very nice. And then number 42, your shadow, ghost of the past. The past returns for a time. Okay. So like I said, you know, we had these dinosaurs, maybe a little bit of things of the past, and that dinosaur wasn't very big. Although it's a fierce guy, it's very intelligent and fierce, but I don't feel like it's anything that you haven't dealt with before. So you're going to have the right discernment to decide whether you want that energy in your life for very long or at all. And you can say no. So this is the time, you know, number 42 is showing me you're going to have the balance to understand this, and that together, so number 6, you're going to create harmony within this. So let's get you some tarot cards. What is the energy that group 3, those that selected group 3, need to hear? before this 2 weeks comes to an end? What do they need to know? All right, we have the Hermit card and the Six of Wands in reverse. Okay. I feel that you may not feel like leaving your comfort zone, but once you do this, you are going to, coming out of your shell, another turtle coming forward. So I feel like the turtle energy coming in 3 times for you is another message for me. So I'm feeling like this is going at your own pace. That turtle in the hair story is coming through. The reason why he won wasn't because he was faster, it was just because he was consistent. So I'm feeling like that is one thing that when an authority figure, someone who's in charge of their life and in control of situations, they understand what it is to be consistent and create progress, not a volume of things. You're not looking for a lot of things, you're looking for quality, something of quality. So I feel this quality that's coming through is that there may be the energy of not really receiving your victory. It might be short-lived. There may be something that is feeling like you're not quite toward the end of this because there's maybe something unresolved here that we're dealing with within our energy field, and we're just creating momentum for this. And there's that number 6 is coming through again here to tell me there is a harmony and balance that is going to be created, and this is going to get you to this victory. Then we have the Two of Swords. Okay, well, there's that discernment coming through. So there's a decision, I feel, also within a relationship, probably one of the past or one you're very familiar with, that you're going to have to really go within. And there is this energy of not really looking with your own 2 eyes, but really feeling the dark, hidden truth. What is in the courtroom of your mind? Where do you need to put judgment? Where do you need to lay down what is right and what is not right for you? There needs to be some decision that you need to come to, and in order for that to happen, you need to see all the facts. All the stuff needs to be laid out on the table. I also see you maybe making a pros and cons list. What is the pro of this? What is the con of this? And then looking at that list and compiling it, maybe even shortening it down and getting down to what's a deal breaker for you? What are things that you're definitely not going to deal with and not going to, process through your energy field anymore? I also feel you want to be seen. You want to be able to be admired for the work that you do. And sometimes I feel like being the boss or being someone that's in charge and in control and adulting in your life, we don't always get the wins that we want. We don't always get like, hey, buddy, you're doing a good job, because, we're an adult, we're not a child anymore. And now that we've become the authority figure in our life, we're not always going to get to see the accolades that comes with. You almost have to give that to yourself. And I feel like the real true reward is being able to have new pair of eyes to see things clearly, to see the truth. And you're gonna have this, like it says, aha moment. The light part of you is coming through to say there's a wonderful idea, and that's going to be cultivated if you spend some time in meditating on the decision that you need to make. Very nice. So now we're going to get some doors here. Or wait, first we're going to do these cards. Then we'll get you doors. So we have number 12 with the Morel with Restore. Number 30 with the Parrot Wax Cap Isolation. And number 16, Amanita with Expanded Awareness. Yes, okay, that Hermit card reverse. You know, you've already done quite a lot of introspective work. You have probably educated yourself on a lot of things. You're in the mode of restoring your energy. I also see that as the Hanged Man. And, you know, you've gone through this period of time of really evaluating what is going on with your energy and what you want out of your life. And this isolation is showing me that this green color is really connecting too. This is really opening up that heart chakra, and the green part of that heart chakra is connecting with that self-love. What is it that you want to cultivate more as loving yourself more? Is there something that you can do for yourself in that period of isolation that you might be in, that within this next 2 weeks, once you come out of this, you're gonna be like a whole fresh new energy, I feel. And then this expanded awareness is just kind of adding to that message and saying, you know, there are going to be moments that don't always feel so great, like I said, adulting through life, but they are the necessary functions and things that we go through to then maybe give ourselves that pat on the back that, hey, we did a good job. We're trusting ourselves more because we've seen ourselves do such a good job, and we don't need the approval of someone else. I'm also hearing that you don't need someone else to validate you. All right, let's see a couple more messages from these. And my dog is barking in the background, so there's something that's wanting you to get your attention on something. There's also a lot of protection around you. You will be able to get the notice before something happens. It's not going to be a big surprise to you. You're going to be able to deal with it and process it and run it through your whole system and bring more awareness to it before it really comes about. And you have the Heart of Cups. And the Six of Swords again. Okay, so the Six of Swords, I think this one wanted to come through for group 2, I think it was, but anyways, that's besides the point. So this is going to be the Queen of Cups, and seeing that whale come through, I feel like you are such a valid, like such a valuable member of the symbiotic energy that you create around yourself. You're a big deal. I feel like you're a pretty big deal, and your intuition is so powerful. I mean, you knowing the right way to go, I feel like there's like this also just instinctive nature that you really flow through, and you're going to know how to get into these calmer waters. By the end of this 2 weeks, the calmer waters are like the worst is over with this rainbow energy here. And again, with the turtle, this is the fourth time in your reading. So I will tell you again, pace yourself. I'm seeing with this water energy, it's okay to process your feelings before you make decisions. You know, I feel like the Two of Swords is kind of one of the slowest sword cards that there is, because there's just this introspective period of time that you have to go through. So just go at your own pace. Don't let anybody rush you, you know, out of whatever this energy is. You know, do this on your own time. Very nice. So let's get you a doorways to walk through. We're going to have 3 doorways. Okay, so we have this one first, this one second, and this one third. Okay, let's walk through this doorway here. This beautiful blue doorway with this kind of patina effect here. We have deeper. You are not finished. You are not yet done. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is yet to come. Hold on, pass this card on. So yeah, like I was thinking the patina effect, this takes a long time, years and years and years for you to get this kind of, you know, antique-y look like this. I mean, when the door was first painted, it was probably all bright and shiny, and then it took a while for you to get this rustic appearance. So I'm feeling like in order for you to, you know, figure out these things, you know, the turtle energy coming through very strong in your reading, You know, there is a lot that needs to be done. There's all these little processes that need to be done, and it's okay for you to go at your own pace. And this door here, Anthony's call. In thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost can be found. Okay. And then this door here, it's already open for us a little bit, but let's walk through this. The sacred lotus. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit jewel. Yeah, definitely there is a leveling up here within your intuition. Your intuition is going to be very on point the next 2 weeks. So you'll be able to make a very, very good decision. Maybe you're also very fond of turtles. I feel that, you know, having that turtle spirit energy with you through this process, always reminding you if you feel like you're being pushed or that someone wants you to go faster in some kind of process or making a decision, then just remind yourself, see that, envision that turtle within your mind, maybe even meditate with that energy will really help you focus on this. So let's get you some ending messages here with these affirmation cards. Okay, take those two. All right, so this one is, I look for all that is good, and I find only good wherever I look. Okay. I maintain a positive attitude. Yes. And then each day is a new opportunity. Yesterday is over and done. Today is the first day of my future. And challenges and opportunities for me to grow. The more I learn, the more equipped I am to handle whatever situations come up. Yes. You can handle this. You can do this. You are becoming an authority of this energy. You have been very educated and wise, and your intuition is really pinging. So listen to that gut. Yes, definitely listen to that gut. The Hermit card too. Oh, your health. And also getting that third eye cleaned out. I feel like maybe even looking that up. How do we enhance our intuition based on your third eye, and decalcifying that as well. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you'd like to see me again, I upload every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.